Okay, somebody pointed out that this comment wasn't supposed to be here, so let's take that out of there. We're going to come up here to edit and do a cut or control X. You want to come down here where that information really should be, because it's describing, that comment is really describing this section of code, not the whole body. We could have had all kinds of stuff, links, pictures, but we really are talking about this body, so it should have really been right there. Okay, let's move on. So let's save that, and you can hit the refresh button. Nothing is going to happen because it was just a comment. Now what we're going to do is come back over here and say new. Now what we're going to do is, well, we probably should have said open. We're going to go back and find our sample page. Why isn't it showing here? Because it's looking for .txt. Now we got it. Let's open our template folder. Let's copy all this here. We can do a save as. Save as, and we're going to name it paragraph. .html. Make our little adjustment here. Save it. Okay. We'll put a title there called paragraph. We'll go ahead and take this comment out of here for right now. And what we will do is come up under this and then start our indentation. We're going to start a P tag or a paragraph tag. And you can do this for sure. Put your mouse in here, go down to, tab over, and then tab over a little bit so you can start your paragraph. Now we're going to type in here. We're going to demonstrate got it? Now, what does that mean? Well, if we save this, now we're going to have to close this down. That's what happens. Let's just copy this for a second right here. Do a copy. Let's go down under here and paste it. And we'll put a comment over here. Okay, how to create a line break. Now we're going to take that over. Here, instead of, we're going to take this white space, all this white space out of here, because we see it didn't work before. And we're going to, basically, we're going to put a tag. We're going to open this up, less than, BR, greater than. This is going to create a line break. And let's do a save and then a refresh. See how it put the line breaks exactly where we asked it to? Now, if I were to come down here and say, well, I want these to be separated so that each line has a double space. So I'm just going to come down here and I'm just going to double space it so that what I see is what I get. Ooh, no, actually not. Save it, Control S, Control 5, F5, Control F5 over here. to refresh, and you'll see it didn't change one bit. Now, if we put a BR code here, we can put a BR code here and here and here. Now go ahead, Control S to save that, Control 5 to look at that. Nice spaces in there. So you mean to tell me that if I were to take two of these, Control C to copy, come to the end of that line and Control V to paste, and I do a Control S to save and come over here and F5 to see it, look at that. It opened that space up. So while we can do a little bit of styling of our words, we really don't want to use HTML to style. We can have basic styles with HTML, but we really need to know a little bit more about HTML and why before we really get into the styling. Let's go ahead and fix that, so maybe we'll keep our double lines there, and the comment is correct, but I want to separate these two blocks of code by something. I don't see it here. I'm going to do a Control S and a refresh to see where I'm at with this code. So I really don't see anything here that's gonna help me. Why don't we come up here, and right before that P tag, we're gonna do an H2 tag, because we don't really need a huge big old thing there. And then I like to do my tags right up in a row so that I don't have to think about it too much, but I do have to think about typing it correctly. Now what I'm doing is basically I've got my open and close tag all ready to go. And so all I have to do is put my information between those two, because I'll remember it. Sometimes when we have real tags, like the body tag, it's got to have multiple spaces between there. Then you won't forget to make that closing tag if you do it kind of right now. But that's all not important. Here we're showing okay, does that sound right? I think I'm right. Save that. Take a look at it over here. Yeah, we're showing that there are no white spaces in the browser. And then we come down here where that other code starts, which is right after that end tag. Okay, we can come in here and we're going to do an HR, which is a rule. Just see what it does. Save it. Come over here, F5 it. And what it did is it threw down that little rule right there. And that'll stretch along the entire page. Okay, so that's a little HTML styling a little bit, but really you're separating your information from one to the other. It's really what they're calling it now. And then we should probably put another H2 tag. So let's copy this guy from here. A lot of copying and pasting. Control C, and then back down here, right above the P tag, right above the paragraph tag. And we're going to paste in. Now, the text editor and Notepad are really very simple programs that you can use. Later on, we'll get into more specialized development editor, which helps us a little bit write our code. So right here, we're going to put that up there. We're going to say, how about Now, if you noticed, I couldn't put this here, because if I put that there, it's going to think that I want to actually have a break. Control S to save, refresh the page, and you can see that break right there. So I can't do it with that tag. And there's a way to do it, but we're not going to go into that complicated way. I'm going to fool them. How's that? Save it and refresh it. And I'm holding up your time. There's no reason to go on any further. You're getting the idea. We can put headings, and then we can put paragraph text. We got to make sure that if we're going to understand that if a line needs to be separated, we're going to have to use one of these BR tags. Okay? That'll end this lesson.